All right, so we're gonna tell y'all about my man Chad. I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna name this story Pimp C the Kid. All right, because I'm gonna get all the way around to everybody know Chad was a real serious. He was a very funny dude, a very serious guy, and a very astute businessman. And a lot of people always want to know why the UGK albums were always so far and few in between. Well, I'm gonna give y'all what I know from being around Pimp and Bun, okay? What I do know is that being on a major label is not always what it was cracked up to be. They had a lot of perks, you know, being on a major label, getting their music into the stores and just the marketing and everything behind that. But the pros and the cons to that sometimes didn't weigh out. And it took really Chad recognizing some of the shit that was going on with Jive Records to tell you that really wasn't gonna fuck over him, okay? And so, mind you, we're talking about a kid that's 17, 18 years old going up against a multi-million-dollar establishment, Jive Records. I mean, talking about this group has got Too Short on it, Britney Spears is on there, we got the Backstreet Boys is on that. I mean, it's a lot of motherfucking high-powered artists on this label. So Jive was giving up these big budgets, and like I say, Chad was very astute with trying to get his money. He knew that he'd always heard that it was hard to get paid off of these records from record sales. And so what he would do is that he would take these records. He really didn't need the money to record in the studio, but he would take the money, right? Because in Dallas, we had what was called an SSL board at the studio in Los Colinas. It was called the Dallas Sound Lab. Beautiful, beautiful studio. I'm talking about some of the greats have recorded it. They've since moved. But at that time, some of the greats like Pantera, Dimebag Darrell and them, great people recorded there. So it was big giant studio, and Jive was $100, $125, $150 an hour. Jive was fitting the bill. And they were seeing Pimp and Bun up here, shit, by themselves and record. That's why I came in. That's when I first met them and befriended them, and they pretty much wrapped my arms around them and kind of took them around the city and introduced them to the city. But back then, he was trying to make up a master plan. How am I gonna get the most money out of Jive Records? And so what he would do is he would take his time and run the bill up, right? He said, I'm gonna blow this budget. That's back when the Marriott had just came out with the Residence Inn hotels. And everybody had the biggest rooms, and everybody had their own room. So that was expensive. Then he would record the album, blow the budget, and then record it on a cassette tape, the whole album on a cassette tape, and send the cassette tape to Jive. And then when Jive would be like, okay, that's good. This motherfucker jamming. I heard some hits. This is the album. When you gonna turn it in? Chad be like, no. No. We not turning this. Give me some more money. So he would hold the album hostage. And we talking about sometimes this would take a year, back and forth, a pissing contest between Jive Records and a 17-year-old kid. It was crazy. But ultimately, he would always get what he wanted, but just not the release date he wanted. Release dates were always important to him. He didn't want to release in the fourth quarter. He didn't want to release the same week somebody else released. He wanted to have his own special release date. And very, very astute businessman when it came down to this music industry. And to be so young, I don't know where he learned all this shit from. I don't know if he was just winging it or what, but the shit was working. And so in between recording the Super Tight album and the Riding Dirty album, you know, of course we doing a bunch of shows, we doing them all over the place. So every once in a while we want to go have us a little good time. And so everybody know about the Freaknik. And this is 1995, probably the last Freaknik that they had ever had. Don't quote me on that, but if it's not the last, it's 1996 was the last. No, I think they had one in 96 as well. But to make a long story short, they go out there Well, I mean, excuse me. We get ready. We're making a plan to go take a trip to Atlanta, and he's still doing this thing with Jive Records, preparing for the Riding Dirty album. And he's telling me, man, I want to get these boys. I'm gonna parlay these boys into getting me a studio. And I'm like, what? I wasn't understanding. I'm young as well, but he's like, I'm gonna get these motherfuckers to give me a whole studio, BoBo, and we gonna put it in the weed room, which is on Sand Jack, the house that we recorded most of the records in. So we was like, okay. I was like, okay. So we getting ready to make. Bun had already moved to Atlanta. He had a townhouse in Atlanta. He had befriended Gip Goody. What's up, Big Gip? Holla at your boy BoBo. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, he had already moved down there, so we all getting ready to go down there to Atlanta. I'm gonna ride to Atlanta with D-Ray from Port Arthur. Rest in peace to my man D-Ray. Miss you, dog. Love you, dog, and miss you. He was a Port Arthur legend. So I'm gonna ride down there, and everybody remember when D-Ray had the white Cadillac. We gonna hit the road in the white Cadillac, right? So Pimp had told me probably 2 weeks before we was getting ready to leave that Jive had agreed to the studio. I said, okay. Still not knowing what to expect. So we're preparing to go. Chad is gonna fly to Atlanta, and me and D-Ray is in the white Cadillac. Dunes from Port Arthur, and I can't remember who else was with Dunes was in the car behind us. He had a Cadillac as well. So we getting ready to follow each other all the way to Atlanta, Georgia, from Port Arthur, Texas. Hell of a long drive. We had done that drive probably about 6-7 times before that, but we still good. Yeah. So anyway, we getting ready to go. DA pulls up to the house. We're talking to Chad, and we in the house talking. Getting ready to talk. Cause we're really stalling because Chad's got to get ready. We're waiting on a taxi cab or something. Cause Mama's getting ready to come get Chad. That's what it is. Mama's gonna get ready picking up Chad because Chad's got to go to Houston to do something. He's gonna fly to Atlanta. We're gonna meet him in Atlanta. So I said, okay. So we sitting there talking in the front room. Next thing you know, ding dong, somebody knock on the door. We open the door, and it's the UPS man out the blue. We're not expecting this. It's the UPS man with all these motherfucking boxes, right? And I'm talking about boxes on top of boxes. I'm talking about the motherfucker had a great big, I believe, a 32 channel Mackie mixing board, brand new on the box. That was back when that first had come out. It was brand new. Let me tell you about the recording process. Back when we first started recording, they had reel-to-reel tapes, right? We advanced from reel-to-reel tapes. The second UGK album was done on ADATs, which is like a VHS tape. So Chad them had a bunch of ADAT tapes, and that was very expensive to transport and just bulky. It was just not practical. So the new wave that was coming out was this new thing that was about the size of a cassette tape, and it was called DA88s. And each machine was about $8,000 to $9,000. And so Chad had told Jive Records parlayed them or hustled them into getting him about 3 or 4 of those DA88s. So we got brand new Mackie board, 4 tape machines, $8,000 a piece, $8 to $9,000 a piece. I guarantee you that Mackie board cost him probably about 50 to 70 grand back then, plus all the wiring, all the speakers. Bro, that's the only time. And that boy, we stayed at home probably another 2 hours watching that boy open boxes, all the bubble wrap, plugging stuff up, seeing if it worked. That motherfucker was happy like he was like a kid on Christmas Day. And that's the story right there, man. That boy was so fucking happy, man. And man, when we got back, we plugged that motherfucker up and went to work. And I believe the first motherfucking group that was done on there was the X-Mob. What's up to my man Vicious? What's up to my man Bundy G? Holla at your boy BoBo. This is a Trill Life story. Gotta say what's up to my man Hezeleo. He's a real one, man. We keep it 100 in Dallas. We keep it 100 in Port Arthur. We keep it 100 in Houston. And we keep it 100 all over Texas, baby. Holla at us, man. All hearted death party in your face, bitch.